What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, you know there's been a rise in crime with teens and juveniles and stuff like this, and it's growing at an alarming rate. These kids are getting bolder and bolder. If they want something from you, they'll do whatever they got to do to take it from you. And it's a big disparagement, or the thing that's messing a lot of people up is it's children doing this. A lot of people don't think of themselves as somebody that would hurt a child and stuff like that, right? And most of us with common sense think that's true. But what about when your life is threatened by a child that tries to do you harm? What do you do then? The story I'm about to tell you guys takes place in Seattle, Washington. It occurred July 22nd, which is about 6 days ago. And it's about 5 teenage girls aged 15 that were on a bus in the Green Lake area of Seattle. I guess that's a suburb or part of the city. And 10 kids ages 7 to 17 years old begin to make fun of them. These kids was chased off the bus. Supposedly they was taunting the victims about their race and privilege. Things escalated to where these girls were chased off the bus with these teenagers and 7-year-old kid in tow. Said once off the bus, the girls were surrounded, using foul language and demanding money. They took shelter in a nearby ice cream store, but this is the part that's crazy. It says during the escalation, a 7-year-old boy brandished a hatchet while another suspect carrying a baby reached around and stole the cash from one of the victim's clutches. Take a look at this story, and I'm gonna come back. This is one of those what did you do moments. Take a look.
Well, Preston, it's hard to believe that someone using a hatchet to try and rob and harm someone could not face any consequences, but per state law, a child under the age of 12 is incapable of committing a crime. On a hot summer day, Green Lake is the place you'd expect to see kids cooling off in the water. Not a neighborhood where you'd expect to hear what police say happened on a King County Metro bus.
The victims were riding the Metro coach number 45 southbound on Wallingford Avenue North. They were receiving a degree of taunting from the suspects regarding their perceived race and their perceived privilege. Officer Eric Munoz says 10 kids ranging in age from 7 to 17 surrounded the 5 15-year-old girls and demanded their cash.
The 7-year-old having a hatchet, that's alarming. It's terrifying.
Yes, it's very alarming, and because a hatchet can be potentially used as a deadly weapon.
Police say one of the older suspects also had a baby with her. After the 5 girls tried to get away, they chased them to a nearby ice cream shop where they took refuge and called 911.
As you can imagine, if you're a 15-year-old, you're essentially just getting transportation. You do not expect to be the victim of an armed robbery with a potential deadly weapon.
But even if police catch the hatchet-wielding 7-year-old, the child won't face any charges despite the severity of the crime.
The 7-year-old is not culpable of a crime, not until the individual reached the age of 12.
And those 10 kids ranging from the ages of 7 to 17, police have not made any arrests. They are still searching for those suspects, and they're asking for the public's help. If you know anything, to call police right away. Live in Seattle, Hannah Knowles, back to you.
Seattle police are looking for a group of teens accused of armed robbery in the Green Lake neighborhood and for threatening 5 15-year-old girls on a Metro bus. Hannah Knowles joins us live tonight. Hannah, one of the suspects, a 7-year-old, police say was wielding a hatchet during the robbery.
Yeah, Preston, a 7-year-old who had a hatchet on him during this armed robbery. We know there was 10 juveniles from as young as 7 to 17 years old. They approached 5 15-year-old girls who were riding on the Metro bus. This all happened in the Green Lake area. They were on the Route 45. that bus route. They approached them, demanded money. They started taunting them, kind of making fun of them. They actually got off the bus, and that's when they stole some of the cash. Those 5 girls, they then ran off, tried to get away from the suspects, and then they started chasing them. The girls, they actually went into a nearby ice cream shop. They called police. They were so scared, but just hard to imagine that a 7-year-old had a hatchet. We did talk to the police, to the Seattle Police Department tonight. They tell us that, this is a dangerous household weapon. The fact that a kid that young had his hands on a hatchet is extremely alarming, especially as we see this trend of juvenile youth go up across King County. We're seeing reports of things happen all across our city involving very young kids. So this is something the police are actively investigating. Those suspects, they have not been caught. They do not know who they are. The 5 girls who were 15 years old, thankfully, none of them were hurt. They did take some cash. We do not know how much cash. We also don't know if the 2 groups of people knew one another.
So, Hannah, is it right that this 7-year-old wouldn't face any charges even if they found him?
Yeah, that's right. Under state law, a 7-year-old cannot commit a crime until at least the age of 8, and then there's the age of 12. So, but yeah, under state law, I did talk to police. I asked them those questions. We also talked to prosecutors tonight, King County prosecutors. They say that, a 7-year-old can't be charged with any sort of criminal or legal crimes. If anything, they'll call Child Protective Services if they do catch this 7-year-old. And they are investigating and asking for the public's help. If you know anything about what may have happened, to call the Seattle Police Department right away.
That's the news, and they're presently looking for these kids that did this. Now it says this little boy has immunity for some reason. At 7 years old, he can't be charged with a crime, a criminal offense at age 7. That sounds strange to me, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I've seen children at 7 years old that kill siblings in violent ways. You know what I'm saying? We watch and look around. There are kids doing stuff at young ages now with untold, unseen violence that it's never been reported on before. And if it has, it's just been in isolated incidents. Nowadays, this thing is running rampant. I don't know if it's something in the food, chemtrails, something in the air, whatever. But it's like everybody done lost their damn mind with violence. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. I've been on this planet 51 years, and I've seen a lot. I haven't seen it all, but I've seen enough. And I know for a fact, you know what I'm saying? I'm one of them people that's not a conscientious objector. I'm not gonna let nobody hurt me. I'm gonna give a fuck if it's a kid or not. And that's just me. You know what I'm saying? Before I sit back and think about whether something's rational or not, my life is in jeopardy. I'm gonna do what I got to do to get out that situation safely, especially for me and mine. You agree or disagree? These are 15-year-old girls. These kids, mainly boys, ran up on them. Got a 7-year-old with them. Said they was ages 7 from 17. The 7-year-old got the hatchet. He got a weapon that can cause massive damage, and he the youngest one. Don't know nothing about nothing, but he got something in his hand that make him feel as though he's big enough, to take what he want from teenage girls. Said one of the motherfuckers was holding a baby. Think about that. They chased these girls while holding the baby. 7-year-old pulled out the thing. How emboldened you think he is now? How fun you think that was? Because I think a lot of times these people do this stuff because it's fun. And nothing happens to them. I think this type of behavior is something that's built up. At 7 years old, if he ain't stopped with this stuff, by the time he's 14, how you think he gonna be? How you think his heart gonna be? How cold his heart gonna be? That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? 15-year-old girls, you attacked them. You know what I'm saying? Attacked them, making fun of them and all this other stuff. Knowing they wasn't going to hit you back. You knew they were scared, so you just turned up the heat. Started on the bus. Kids are bad all over the place, man. I got some badass kids that just moved in over here where I'm at. I see them doing some of the craziest stuff. And it's like, you say something to them, you know what I'm saying? Then you the bad guy. Or it turns into something else. This is out of control. People better get their parenting priorities in order, man, because a lot of people ain't going to be playing no games when these kids go out here and step across that line and do something crazy. There are people out here that'll take their heads off. Because I'm going to be honest with you, man, that would have pissed me off. Could you imagine? Yeah, I got robbed. How old was the kid? 7. You gave him your money? He had a hatchet in his hand. I don't give a damn what he had. At 7 years old, he'd have had to use it. Dead serious. For you to step up to a man, I show you what grown men do when their lives is threatened. I mean, I wouldn't have killed him or nothing, but I would have disarmed him and sat his little ass down. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have punched him in the face or nothing like that, but I mean, he would have knew I won't do this to somebody else I don't know. This is sad all the way around the board. You got a baby with you. And I told you, it's easy for people older to have somebody younger getting them involved and putting a bad impression on them because they miserable themselves or they think what they doing is the right thing to do. I wonder who's corrupting this child. I wonder if the 17-year-old's related to him. Because you got to remember, younger children, especially boys out there in the street, we wrestle each other, we slap box. We always trying to establish a pecking order and validation of why we should be together with these people. Ain't no damn way a 7-year-old hang with a motherfucking 17-year-old. Another thing is, I told you before, look at this. The mindset of somebody 17 and somebody 7 has some type of commonality to where they can go and hang around each other. You know what it is? Partners in crime. Boom. See, when we young, we taught not to do bad shit. Bad shit is a commonality. Brings a lot of people together for the wrong reasons. And you're seeing it right here. They all need to get fucked up, in my opinion. Belts to the ass or something. I'm Stock Market Steve for a Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thinking about it, a 17-year-old must have been trusted to have a 7-year-old with him. But then again, nowadays, a lot of people, parents, just open the door and let their kids out like wild animals and hope they make it back at night. If they don't, they send other kids to go look for them. Go figure. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. This is a goddamn shame.